And I'm Michael Flaherty.
And this is Flahertys on Films, where we discuss movies from our totally non-expert point of view. This week, we continue our countdown of the AFI Top 100 films with Swing Time.
Do we have any?
Oh, we have lots of those. Great film, though, huh? Really
Fantastic film. Of all the movies, this is the one I watched the least. So
Can you expand what you mean by that?
Oh, sure. So I watched 20 minutes. I couldn't follow the dialogue really. Just things would happen. I don't get it. But then I kind of walked out. I read Twitter. There's this thread about this face painter at a carnival was gonna paint a butterfly in a boy's face, and the parents were all like, "No, that's too girly," and it was really sad. And she was heartbroken.
This is really good, relevant conversation.
I'm just saying that's where my attention was. It was sort of...
All right. Well, let's just get into this.
Yeah, okay.
With the 1936 film, you want to synopsis this up?
A performer and gambler. Let me stop. Gambler is not... Is that a profession?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm a man about town. I mean, you can describe yourself as anything. I'm a unicorn liker.
But just say a performer. Okay. A performer and gambler travels to New York City to raise $25,000 he needs to marry his fiancée, only to become entangled with a beautiful, aspiring dancer. Good summary.
Good
that is what happens.
Summary. I was curious about the $25,000, so I did actually look up. According to the Consumer Price Index calendar, adjusted for inflation, $25,000 in 1936 is equal to $443,000. So
All right.
That's pretty cool. We have an audience today that left.
Sort of, yeah.
They were so bored with the beginning of this podcast, the room cleared.
Which
could not be more heartening.
No, yeah.
So, have you seen this film before?
No, I did not know anything about it. The one thing I thought I knew, which I was so excited about, was that the movie was 44 minutes long, which turned out to be wrong. It turned out to be an hour and 44 minutes. That was heartbreaking.
You know, I didn't question you, but when you told me it's actually normal movie length, I'm like, right, because it has to be film eligible. Sure. It has to be feature-length film.
So it started bad, and it really did not go up from there.
Interesting. So I've seen other Fred Astaire movies, and they're pretty samey.
Really?
So I'm wondering what it is about this film that makes it AFI contender. What is it about this film that's so great?
I'm excited to find out.
Yeah. So I didn't know anything about this film going in other than I bet it's going to be a delightful romp between Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers, and they're going to end up as a couple. And I'm like, nailed it.
You got it.
I did it.
Plus more. Plus.
Yeah. Plus other things. Before we get our discussion going, though, I think it would be really cool if we learned some background about the film, some, say, facts.
Yeah, I think it's BAM!
Time for Sam.
Applause.
Yay! You did it.
Thanks, guys.
If you are going to do the fact about the Consumer Price Index, too late, I already did it.
I heard it was beautiful.
Thank you.
I really appreciated it.
You were going to do a fact about the movie length. We already covered that.
Thanks. You guys are just doing my job for me.
Yeah.
I had one job, and yeah.
Well, let's hear what you got.
So this film was nominated for 2 Academy Awards. It won one of them.
For
dancing. That's not an award.
For best dancing.
Really
Actually,
Fred Astaire. Oh.
It was nominated for Best Dance Direction, which
Oh,
was an award the
real.
Academy Awards only had for 3 years.
Oh, I feel like the joke was undermined that we were right.
Yeah, well, edit that.
You guys are going to be really mad when you figure out it. So it was nominated for that one. It won Best Original Song for Just the Way You Look Tonight.
Oh, that's good.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's good song.
So this was actually the 6th out of the 10 Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire's film. It was Ginger Rogers' favorite.
Why?
It's a good song.
A lot of the reviews I read about it from critics all rave about her and her amazing acting and dancing in the film.
She wore really cool dresses.
She did wear really cool dresses.
That dress is so cool. We'll talk about it later.
It's also, so this is 6 out of 10. It was the first Ginger and Fred kiss on screen.
When did they kiss? They always kiss behind doors and stuff.
Though the door closed in one and then he turned his head in the other, their first actual kiss where they lock lips on screen was still 2 more.
This is a thing?
So this might be a thing I know. That Fred Astaire was a super conservative Republican who fought for decency in film. So he did not like too many kisses.
Yeah.
Didn't like the smut on the television.
I see where he's coming from.
But
That could be
after 6 films, he could fake kiss her. It was in there.
yeah, if you're a whore.
This film is most known for its dancing. There's 4 very famous dances in this, and they're considered the best.
What?
They're considered They're considered the best dancing of any Fred and Ginger, but it does take 24 minutes to get to the first dance.
Yeah, you feel all those minutes.
A lot of those minutes.
All of the critic reviews were like, so the plot's not great, but that dancing.
And let's...
Calm down. The most famous dance is the Never Gonna Dance scene at the end. It took 47 takes to get right, and at the end, from all the twirling, Ginger Rogers' shoes were filled with blood.
Jeez.
You. Yep.
But dancing until you bleed, cool. Kissing, can you not?
This one is a little out there, but I'm just going to throw it in there. A lot of people have said that Barack Obama quoted this film in his inauguration speech on January 20th, 2009.
Listeners, you cannot see my face, but I'm like, what?
What's the quote?
In my face.
The quote he said is, and once again, I'm not 100% buying this, but starting today, we must pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and begin again the work of remaking America.
Those just seem like normal idioms.
A lot of people contributed it to the play.
That's fine.
Whatever. Springtime needs to score points wherever it can.
There we go. And the last that I will bring up only because of Colleen, and I will let you elaborate on this. There's the infamous blackface dance.
Mr. Bojangles!
Which, when I was researching this, could have been a lot worse, believe it or not.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, you go on and then I'll contribute.
I'm not going to go into the details of it, but it is based off of the famous tap dancer Bill Robinson, who was most known for dancing with Shirley Temple, and it was supposed to be
An homage.
to him.
So I had to read through the Amazon... Oh, wait. Before you go, Sam, first I'm going to tell my little anecdote where
Sorry.
I was reading through the Amazon reviews and there was a lot of argument about how racist Fred Astaire is or is not. And it came down to 2 things. One, that it was like an homage to this guy, and that, he didn't do the lips and the white outline. So, again, the 2 arguments boiled down to it could have been more racist, and he has a black friend.
Fair
so
points.
it's okay.
Fair
Right.
points.
Really...
It was actually supposed to be this really elaborate scene involving a jungle set, so
Okay.
it could have been worse.
The beginning of it, before they reveal him in blackface, has bright red lips. Like, it is so offensive.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great.
So before you go, I don't know, for our listeners, Sam is not only a fact aficionado, but is a dance aficionado. She danced for 14 years.
14 years.
So you watched this film. What did you think of the dancing? Was it like, oh my God, it's the most amazing thing ever? Or what the F?
That's the scale you're working with.
Yeah.
The dance that really impressed me was the Never Gonna Dance
Not
dance.
really an answer. You
I
heard the scale.
I thought it was very impressive. That being said, I feel like I've seen better Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers dancing in other films.
Okay.
So pretty good. Pretty good dancing.
It was good, but I feel like they've done better. And I honestly, I kept reading and they kept saying that this is the film where their dances were considered the absolute best. And I don't think they were that impressive compared to other films.
I didn't love this film, but I actually thought the dancing was really impressive. Especially, and maybe we'll talk more about that, but like every single dance was just done in a single wide shot. And I'm like, that's so impressive.
That is a Fred Astaire standard. He always wanted you to be able to see, well, he'd always have only 2 cameras, really, just following him around, and you always had to see his full body because he wanted,
But every single dance didn't even have one cut. Like, so it's like, it only
That's
had one
why it
camera.
took 47 cuts.
And the
Or takes
shoes
to
filled
do
with
it,
blood, lest we forget.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
That was BAM!
Down for Sam.
All right. Now let's see what the critics thought, shall we?
Oh, yeah.
Got us.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. Now, let's see. Reviews. Michael, you want to start us off with
Sure.
what the Amazon...
Oh, yeah. Our
by-
Amazon 1-star reviews of the DVDs. Here we go. Horrible plotline. So easy to fall in and out of love with no consequences. If I could give 0 stars, I would. That's just a normal 0-star review.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's the next 1-star review. Bought it for my granddaughter, who is a budding tap dancer. End of review.
Just like, we know. We don't know more.
Comment on this review. This is not a review. Also, you gave the film a poor rating. You realize that, right? Duh.
Here we go. The dancing was exciting, but the storyline was too simple. Weak. Yeah.
Like he is shouting for the all caps.
Right.
That's very important.
Yeah.
If it were not for the blackface stance, would be 5 stars.
Okay.
All right. Yeah,
All
good.
right.
That's fair.
I bought this as a gift. It arrived, and the cover is blurry and looks homemade. Weird. Not happy. I like to cap off with their emotion.
Yeah, right? Again, these are 1-star ratings, friends. Okay, nothing to write home about.
1 star.
1 star.
Nah, I'm not. 1 star.
All right. So let's dive in. So the film's, we kind of talked about the synopsis, and it's so, I don't know. So the beginning, he's about to get married, and his friends do this clever trick to make him think his pants are out of fashion, which is an emergency that needed to be dealt with immediately.
Yeah.
Oh, haha, you need cuffs on your pants. Cuffs?
I just couldn't follow it.
I
was watching with Sam. I had to ask her like every 5 minutes, like, what just happened? You do explain this to me.
Can't you just fold up your pants?
Yeah, I don't.
And then the tailor's like incredulous, like, I will not cuff these pants. Which then I was like, you know what? I respect the integrity of like the tailor and the fashion industry of this time, that they care so much. Oh,
To give a higher view perspective on this film, it just meanders the plot. It just
Right.
it goes. I don't even know how to say what generally it does. It's just
Right.
it's all over the place.
and his friends that he dances with, they're like total assholes. They make him miss the wedding with this woman who seems lovely and totally reasonable.
Again, I don't know. It's hard for me to have any emotions about any of this because I didn't care
Right.
about the characters or the story or anything that happened.
Right.
I'm
Also, in the beginning, they make a comment about how he's rushing into this marriage and it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then he like falls in love with Ginger Rogers in 2 seconds.
Pretty fast.
Pretty fast.
And was it ever established that he liked the bride he was going to pay $25,000 for?
Right, which is over 400,000.
Which is-
Lest we forget.
I just
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh man. So Fred Astaire goes to New York City to get this $25,000 because
Yes.
that is where the gambling men go. That was also not
Because
really
he's a
established.
professional gambler, yeah. Like so good at gambling.
So then, like, Ginger Rogers, there was this elaborate thing where she, like, stole his quarter but didn't. And so she gets a police officer.
Yeah.
And then the police officer, because Fred Astaire is still wearing his tux, and he's like, does this look like a man who would steal from you? And then there's an aside where he's like, men like you pay me to protect you. And I'm like, what the F is going on in New York City? Like, that's horrifying. You don't say stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, and then she called him a racial slur, which was fun.
What was the racial slur?
Cossack. I had to look it up.
Oh, all right.
She said, you Cossack you. And I'm like, that sounds offensive.
I should take that out of my vocabulary.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Is that something you say often?
No, but now I know.
Now you know.
Never say it.
Okay. So then he wants to like talk to Ginger Rogers again because she's all mad at him, and she teaches lessons. So he goes and like, oh, I'd like a lesson because I don't know how to dance.
I didn't get the farce. I didn't get why he was pretending not to be able
because
to.
he wanted some time with her. So he's like, oh, teach me how to dance.
Oh, that actually makes sense.
I was really charmed by it.
See, that's on me. I should have picked that up.
Maybe you should have gone off the Twitter and
It was an interesting thread.
let's. And then her boss with the weird affectations who kept saying Penny,
I liked it.
come dance with Penny.
Of the things that were my favorite in this film, that was up there.
I found that scene very adorable where he's falling all over this place, except that. So I don't know how to dance, but I feel like I know how to
Walk. Stand.
like stand up and not fall over. Like he wasn't learning how to dance on ice.
It was a silly movie.
But I found it adorable. And then he, so the owner's like gonna fire her because she was rude, and Fred Astaire's like, but she just taught me how to be the world's best dancer in 2 minutes. Watch.
1 minute.
And he's like, she did.
He's like, whoa, shit.
That's amazing.
Whoa, dude, what a great school this is.
Yeah. And then, of course, Ginger Rogers also does not question that Fred Astaire is the most amazing dancer in the world. And she's like, hey, let's be dance partners forever, and I trust you.
Yeah.
Which was a mistake, we learn.
It's a silly movie.
It's, yeah, let's see. It was pretty cool. There was a scene where he's in Ginger Rogers' hotel room. Again, unclear. It's weird because the movie is at least an hour longer than it needs to be. Mm-hmm. All this time for plot, and yet the plot makes no sense. Like, they don't really connect one thing to the next.
Well, I'll just say, this is about the point of the film where I dropped off. So I've had little to say. Now I'll have a little bit less to say.
Oh, good, good. I did love him singing the way he looked.
That's a good song. I didn't know that was from this movie. That was a cool fact.
Is it from this movie?
Yep, it's from this movie.
Okay, I did not know that.
So that's 1 point for the film.
Point 2, I want to wear every single outfit she wears.
Yes,
Match a dress.
yes, that's my only point that I'd want to talk about is the dress at the end. Me and Sam couldn't tell what size her dress was. It looked really long and thin, but then it would swoosh out and then it would
the
short.
hidden panels?
Yeah. That was so cool.
That was the one they were I'm not gonna dance again one. I thought that was a really cool dance. So they tap dance a lot in it, and it shouldn't have taken me out of the movie because I get that they in old movies they had to put the sound in afterward. They didn't live record it.
Yeah.
But the tap dancing would be really loud and obvious, and then they would just turn it off. They didn't take the taps off their shoes.
I didn't think about that.
Oh,
Why wouldn't they be able to record that?
I don't know. I'm not a movie magician. I don't know. It was the 30s.
It's not a clear sound when you record it live.
There we go.
Oh, that makes sense actually.
The dad character, Fred Astaire's dad, was he drunk all the time? I didn't really get.
I don't know if I even watched him in the movie.
All right. Yeah. Here's another bit that made no sense to me. So Ricardo is this heavily accented man who does the orchestra.
Yeah.
And apparently her only income is no longer being a dance teacher and is dancing with Fred Astaire, and that's her only job. And he's like, no, I cannot have you dance with another man. So he has to
conflict.
Gamble to win the orchestra to order him to play for them.
I feel like they just could have cut the gambler storyline or that character trait.
I feel like they could have cut so many things.
They could have cut the plot. They could have cut.
Right. So then they spend all this time, and we get to the end. Let's just go for it.
Sure.
Spoiler alert if you don't. They end up together, but she's about to marry Ricardo.
Wait, one more point.
Okay.
The Uncle Sam legs. That was weird. Do you know what I'm talking about? They're doing a dance, and then the camera zooms in on Uncle Sam, but he's got these massive legs.
Oh yeah, I didn't get that.
I didn't get it. I just thought whoa, it was weird.
I thought the whole.
That was the one point where I was oh, I'm awake and watching. The any other point I was asleep.
There was well, let's talk before we get to the end. We do have to talk about how 50% of the films we've watched so far have blackface in them.
The AFI loves blackface.
They love blackface.
I think it's just really neat.
And this scene is so long. It is 15 minutes long of him dancing. And then after that scene, he's in many scenes afterward still in his blackface. So, in case we've forgotten. And I feel kind of bad because, some of the dancing is actually kind of neat. They do that shadow trick.
Yeah,
where there's,
I like
giant
that.
shadows dancing with him, but then they're not dancing with him. And I'm I just cannot ignore what's happening.
I mean, I just feel I'm so used to it by now.
Right.
The desensitized. Yeah, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
Don't hire an actual black actor to do this. Just.
Right, if we can have blackface, we gotta get on that AFI list.
Right. I mean, oh boy. Okay, so the end of the film, I watched it actually with my mother, your mother too, because we're siblings.
She's here right now. Say hi.
Hi.
Hello.
So the end of the film, she's gonna go marry Ricardo because she thinks he's still engaged, but that all works out and he's not engaged.
Yeah.
And he plays that devious cuff trick on Ricardo. Then Ricardo marches in wearing his black servant's pants. Ignore it. Just move on.
This funny bit. Yeah,
Right.
Okay.
And he's first of all, don't be such a dick to Ricardo. All he wants to do is marry the woman he loves. He has not done anything wrong.
That fucking asshole.
Right. And then he comes in and Fred Astaire runs in and is and then they all start laughing at his silly pants. And Ginger's no, I'm not going to marry you.
That was a nightmare scene. So they're all fake laughing loudly for a long time.
Right, because he's got the silly pants, and she's not gonna marry you, Ricardo, I'm gonna marry Fred. But she does not know about the resolution. She does not know he's not engaged anymore, but it's fine. And then they start singing and laughing, and I'm what the fuck just happened? And I'm incredulous, but our dear mother was so mad.
Want to expand?
Well, and Ricardo was okay with it.
I forgot that.
That is weird.
He started directing the orchestra isn't this a pleasant thing to do right now? Nobody seemed upset about any of it, and it wasn't even funny about his pants.
No, it was not.
No.
The whole thing was so weird. I just said, what is going on?
Right. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I would have liked to see 10 minutes of plot, 30 minutes of them dancing, maybe a 3-minute song. That's what I would have enjoyed.
Yeah, anything that's less than this movie is fine.
Okay, I do want a side conversation. So I, in high school and college, had a lot of nerd girlfriends who were like really into old musicals.
Okay.
And I feel like there was a common theme that Fred Astaire is a hottie. He's a weird looking dude, right?
He's a weird looking dude. He's like a lanky...
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Like he looks like a baby and an old man.
No, he's no The Rock.
Right. What?
It's just like The Rock is like a go-to hot guy, and that is very not Fred Astaire. Did I
Right.
need to explain that?
I mean, later.
Okay, we'll talk about it, yeah.
Yeah. Just wanted to make sure that I was correct on that. This movie did not age well. I wonder what John is up to.
I think it's bro call. Let me get on my phone. Bring. Hello, John.
What?
What? John's here?
What? Oh my God!
What do you guys want?
John, why don't you sit down?
Uh-oh.
Sit down for a special live bro call.
What's with the microphone, guys?
John, tell us your thoughts about the movie Swing Time.
Well, I heard you guys were going to do this because you told me about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So I've been reading the plot on Wikipedia, and that made no bloody sense, so I found a different one.
Yeah?
And all I can say is this movie's dancing must be really good because the plot makes no effing sense. This is the kind of movie that clearly deserves hate watching. Because what the hell?
Well,
right? This lucky guy is a bad person.
Yeah. But she's kind of a bad person too, so maybe it's okay.
And what are we trying to tell to Depression era viewers, right? That you're only worth money, that clearly gambling and or dancing are viable careers in the Depression era.
Oh, I do feel like there's a couple times in the movie where like, oh, you shouldn't be gambling, but there were no consequences for said gambling.
Yeah.
Sort of an anti-hero story. It's kind of like a Breaking Bad.
All of the characters'
Like
motivations
exactly like
seem
Breaking Bad.
all over the place. And of course, at the end of the movie, apparently he just gets off scot-free of everything,
Well, yeah.
including his original engagement. Oh, by
Yeah.
the way, that plot line that started this whole movie, let's forget about that.
Yeah.
Because literally that was just supposed to be the thing that launched the ships, and then we're going to forget about it.
Well, according to our dance expert, the dancing was okay. So, overall, I don't think this movie deserves its...
Yeah, I do not understand why it's on.
So then, yeah, what is the redeeming quality of this movie? Is it the blackface thing?
It might be. The AFI just loves blackface.
Love it so much.
It's their
Oh.
favorite thing.
So racism is in.
Yeah.
Noted.
It's in style.
Yeah.
Huh, didn't see that coming. Trump's America.
Yeah.
Well, John, that about wraps up this program.
I'm going to go over here now.
All right. Thank you, John.
Ding, the hang-up noise.
What is a hang-up noise? Cha-ching!
Well, that's not it. Clink. There we go. I got it.
All right. So let's talk about, would we put this on our personal top 100? Like, so I think I get it. In the evolution of
I
film,
feel like the audience is being a little loud.
audience is if you're hearing a little background noise, it's our mom still complaining about the end of this film. So I get, like, in the evolution of film, it's like going from vaudeville to screen is what we're seeing, and it's an important, but like, why this film of any of the films exactly like it? I still don't feel like it was explained to me. I enjoyed bits of it, but did not. Sorry. Research is piping in that there is a reason it went on. Sorry. Nope.
Research is a little
Research is a
little gesticulate.
Yeah. Research is just making motions for no reason. All right.
Yeah.
So
Research is really just trying to get this off the rails.
like I get the idea of why a film like this, but not this film. I don't get it. So
Doesn't
I would
make sense,
not rank it on mine. How about you?
No, it's a bad film.
Okay.
It's really bad.
So you did not like it?
The second question, did you like the film? No. Not good.
No, didn't like it.
No.
Grade it.
F.
F?
Why? Yeah, sure. Why not?
I'm gonna give it a C minus.
C minus. Because
Well-
the dancing was that good?
Well, I guess I'm comparing it to other films I hated. Like, Ben-Hur, like, made me angry.
Whoa.
Like, it just...
Ben-Hur's great.
Wrong.
Okay.
Like Blade Runner, maybe. Like
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
like I didn't hate this film. I'm just like, oh, this is a weird.
Why I
plot.
hated those movies is because those are outdated, but people are in denial about that. Nobody's in denial about this movie being the worst.
Well-
Why am I defending this movie?
I don't know. But there were some scenes where I found delightful. I liked when he was teaching her, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm an amazing dancer." I
that's
liked
silly.
some of the dances. I
All
liked her
right.
outfits. I liked the cinematography for the time was good. So yeah, I'll give it a C minus.
All right. C minus F.
All right. I think that's it for Flahertys on Films. Mikey, can we thank some sponsors?
Sure. Who are we sponsoring this week?
Brought to you by Roomba.
Roomba. Oh no, my house is messy. Man, I don't want to do any work. Get yourself a Roomba. It'll clean your house. It'll talk to you. It'll be your friend. It's always nice to have
But don't
friends.
be too needy, because it is a robot.
Yeah, like it's got something to do later, so
Right.
you could clean it like in the beginning of the day.
Right.
Yeah, totally.
Let's see. Brought to you by Hue light bulbs.
What is that? They're our sponsors, so I know what they are, but just for our
For
listeners,
fun, it's
for our
like-
listeners, just kind of describe what Hue
Well,
light
so
bulbs are.
I'm definitely not just looking around the room and naming objects.
Of course.
But if I were, it would be the lights that are controlled by computer chips, and then you can change colors and stuff from your phone.
So like a Roomba, you don't want to like, oh, switch me. Might I do that?
Right.
No. We have computers. Let's use them to vacuum our houses and turn on our lights.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Let's and then
Light bulb moment. Get yourself a Hue light bulb.
right. Also brought to you by our future robot overlords.
Yes. They give them a chance.
Yeah, we respect them.
Yeah.
Let's
And that's it for our podcast, Flahertys on Films. We'll see you next time. And cut.
all right.